Welcome to Liminal Breaks, the podcast where we explore what happens when we let ourselves pause, soften, and listen. Not just to the world around us, but to the deeper rhythms within. I'm Mike Parker, founder of Liminal Coaching, and in this first episode, we're talking about something deceptively simple: stopping. Not because you failed, not because you're lazy, but because you're ready to move forward with clarity. We live in a world that rewards speed, that treats rest like a reward and urgency like a virtue. We're taught to keep going, keep pushing, keep optimizing, and sometimes that works until it doesn't. What if the first act of change isn't acceleration, but slowing down? What if the most powerful thing you can do, especially when everything feels loud or overloaded, is to pause? That's what this podcast is here to explore. Each of the 3 episodes includes something we call a moment, a short guided practice that helps you reconnect with a calmer, clearer state. These aren't meditations. They're not visualizations or affirmations. They're more like doorways, symbolic experiences that support your nervous system and your awareness to shift gently but deeply. Today's moment is called Drifter Peace, and we'll share it with you in a few minutes. But first, we're going to explore why stopping, even for 6 minutes, can feel so hard and why it matters more than ever. Because the first thing stress takes from us is choice. And choice is what we need most if we want to respond and not just react. So take a breath. There's nothing urgent right now. And let's begin. We live in a state of near constant input. Scroll, respond, refresh, repeat. Even when we stop working, we don't stop absorbing. The average person now takes in more piecemeal human and machine-generated information demanding attention in a single day than someone 300 years ago encountered in a year. And that would be fine if we were built for it, but we're not. Our nervous systems are still wired for rhythm, for natural cycles, for pauses. And when those pauses never come, we start to fray. The world feels too loud. Our thinking narrows. We lose the ability to reflect, to process, to decide with clarity. Our stress response remains activated, and we're just trying to keep up. But here's the good news. The brain does have its own repair system, which is called the default mode network, or the DMN. And it comes online more when we do something we're not encouraged to do very much anymore, and that's relax and let the mind wander. You see, daydreaming isn't a waste of time at all. It's the state in which the brain processes emotional experience, integrates memory, and generates solutions to complex problems. It's where we connect the dots, reshape our inner narratives, and recover the mental coherence that stress erodes. And the DMN doesn't need hours to do its work. It just needs space, even 6 minutes. And that's where liminal coaching begins, with a deliberate pause, not vague mindfulness, not zoning out to the TV, but an accepted period where you drop into a relaxed state through an experience that's crafted to switch on the brain's most powerful natural systems for recovery and creativity. We call these crafted experiences liminal moments. Each audio is like a symbolic reset. It's designed to help you return to yourself through breath, rhythm, and metaphor. They're short for a reason. 6 minutes is long enough to produce measurable change in stress levels, in emotional regulation, and in clarity. But more than that, they feel different. These aren't meditations. You don't have to concentrate. You don't even have to do it right. You simply allow the moment to unfold as it was designed to do. So the next time someone tells you daydreaming is a luxury, remember, it's one of the most sophisticated tools your mind has. And in a moment, we'll show you one way to use it. Let's take a moment just to step back and explain exactly what we mean when we talk about a liminal moment, especially if this is your first time listening. A liminal moment is a short, guided audio experience, usually around 6 minutes long, that's designed to help you shift your inner state. Not with effort or discipline, but with rhythm, breath, and carefully chosen metaphors that speak directly to your subconscious. It's not therapy, it's not meditation, it's not mindfulness in the traditional sense. You don't need to concentrate, you don't need to clear your mind or sit in a certain way. In fact, the less you try, the better it tends to work. Now, these short practices are built around a few key insights. First, when we relax, and especially when we let our attention drift gently without a task, the default mode network, or DMN, becomes more active. This network is responsible for integrating memory, processing emotional experience, and generating creative insights. It's what we might call the background processor of the mind. Our liminal moments are designed to enhance the activation of this system gently and purposefully, using a combination of symbolic imagery, slow rhythmic language, and physical grounding cues like breathing and whatever posture you find most relaxing. Each moment creates a symbolic doorway, a little narrative or inner landscape that the subconscious can walk through and start to reorganize from within. The effects aren't forced, they're emergent, which is why this kind of work tends to feel soft, but surprisingly powerful. Many people say things like, "I didn't even try, but suddenly I felt calmer," or "I didn't expect it to work that fast." That's because we're not pushing the system. We're giving it the right conditions to reset itself. And because each of these moments is short, just around 6 minutes, they're easy to return to throughout the day, between meetings, during a commute, after a hard conversation perhaps, or simply when you've hit a wall and don't know what you need. The one we're sharing today is called Drift to Peace, and it's the first moment we usually introduce in our coaching work, for a simple reason. It reduces stress fast. It doesn't ask anything of you, it just invites you to soften, to release, to let go of the pressure, to try to think your way through the overwhelm. And as you listen, you'll hear imagery designed to cue the body towards parasympathetic activity, the part of the nervous system that restores calm. You'll notice that nothing is described in sharp directive terms. The language flows like water, because that's the whole point, to signal that you can stop gripping. When you do, something interesting happens. Your breath changes, your focus shifts, and your system starts to reset emotionally, neurologically, and even physically. What makes this moment different from a meditation or body scan is that it works with story. So now we're going to drop into the moment itself. This short 6-minute guided practice that's designed to help your system reset. You don't need to focus, you don't need to do it right. Just let it wash over you, whether you're sitting, walking, or lying down. Just give yourself permission to pause. Nothing has to change. You're just making space for your breath to soften, for your nervous system to come off high alert. The words you'll hear are slow, symbolic, and spacious. That's deliberate. It's part of how this practice speaks to the deeper parts of your mind, the parts that don't respond to logic, but to rhythm and metaphor. So if your mind wanders, that's fine. If you drift, even doze, that's fine too. Just let yourself be carried for a few minutes. It isn't a meditation or a tool, it's a moment, a short symbolic portal to a part of you that's already there, just beneath the surface. Begin by just relaxing every single muscle as much as you can. Take a deep, relaxed, easy breath in, breathing from your stomach. And slowly exhale and let all tension, stress, and anxiety just drift away from you completely. There's nothing to do. Just follow the drift. You find yourself now floating in a boat in the center of a beautiful lake. It's very calm and clear. You can see a simple house of wood on the shore. It's so quiet here, so very peaceful. The wind has dropped to almost nothing since you reached the middle of the lake. The water is clear and calm and flat like a mill pond. Birds fly high in the sky. It's comfortably warm and sunny, and you lie peacefully in your boat, just gazing at the view. You can hear the sound of a bell ringing across the water, and each note relaxes you more and more, taking you deeper and deeper into calm tranquility. You stretch out in the boat, your head on a cushion, and just gaze up at the sky. And as you do so, you suddenly know that you can let go of every bit of stress, every bit of worry and fear and tension, and just let it drift away from you up into the sky and across the water into unbeing. A lily floats near you. It has a lovely scent, and a light is coming from it across the surface of the water. And as every fear, worry, and concern drift away from you completely, you allow the light from the lily to enter the center of your heart. In your imagination, you place one hand gently on your chest, knowing that in the future, this gesture will bring you straight back to this peaceful, tranquil place. And you feel a great sense of peace and relaxation sweep through you, and you find that you can think more clearly about what your priorities really are, about what's really important to you and your life and those you love. You're looking at what really is the best way to live your life, calmly and clearly in control, knowing that when you are calm, you are as in control of yourself and of your life as you can ever be. You just drift, allowing that calmness now to sweep through you, feeling the depth of water beneath the boat, the tranquility of the scene around you, the occasional splash of a fish, the calling of a bird, the water lapping gently around the hull. You breathe in the clear air, the golden light of the sun filling you from head to toe as you drift here, watching a cloud pass by above you in the sky. You're completely at peace now, and every last bit of tension, every last bit of worry, every last fear and insecurity just spirals out of you, maybe like smoke from a bonfire, up into the sky, where it dissolves in the clear, pure air and is blown away to the four quarters of existence, never to be seen again. And to this place, you can always come to simply let go, to breathe, relax, and allow yourself to flow as the water flows around you now, full of that peaceful calm. The sun filling you with a great sense of harmony, peace, and well-being that reaches out into the whole of your life, into every dimension. And now you let your awareness return gently to your breath, your body, the space around you, drifting back from the lake now, taking all the time you need, just drifting peacefully and easily back to ordinary waking, feeling grounded, spacious, and quietly energized. And as you come out of the moment, give yourself a little time. Don't rush. Let your system recalibrate gently. You might feel lighter. You might feel heavier. You might feel like nothing really happened. And that's fine too. Often, what shifts in a liminal moment doesn't shout. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks, but it registers a slowing of breath, a slight loosening in the jaw, a softening of urgency you didn't know you were carrying. The kind of change isn't about dramatic breakthroughs. This kind of change isn't about dramatic breakthroughs. It's about subtle returns to clarity, to calm, to your own inner ground. If you noticed even the smallest shift, that's a thread you can come back to. A signpost that your system knows how to restore itself when it's given space to do so. And if this was your first time, remember, this isn't a one-off fix. It's a practice of taking power breaks, a way of reclaiming 6 minutes again and again to reset your state, not through effort, but through relationship with your own rhythm. You don't have to wait until you're overwhelmed to use Drift to Peace. In fact, it's most powerful when used proactively as a preemptive rebalancing between meetings, for example, before making a decision, or at the end of the day to mark a boundary between doing and resting. And if you found it useful, consider sharing it. You probably know someone whose nervous system is stretched too thin, someone who doesn't need more advice, just a quiet tool they can return to when things get too much. This could be that tool. In the next episode, we'll explore what happens when the outside world feels unmanageable, when the pressure isn't just internal but everywhere. We'll talk about how to stay open without becoming saturated, and we'll introduce the next liminal moment, riding the storm. Until then, see if you can give yourself one deliberate pause a day, just 6 minutes. Let your system breathe. You've already started, after all. Thanks so much for being here. See you next time.